At a recent international security forum in Moscow, Russian diplomats sat down with representatives from Afghanistan to do what was once unthinkable. They shook hands, formalizing a military pact. The men in traditional dress represent the Taliban. Since taking Kabul in 2021, they have lacked official recognition from any government on Earth, leaving their economy largely severed from the global financial system. While Western attention remains fixed on the Pacific, Vladimir Putin has been executing a calculated geopolitical maneuver across Central Asia. How did an unrecognized militant group, one that Russia itself once fought to eliminate, become Moscow's newest strategic partner? This agreement shifts the regional balance of power, challenging the security framework established by decades of American intervention. It also targets the primary source of leverage Pakistan has held in the region since the Cold War. When the United States evacuated Afghanistan, it left behind a vacuum. That space is now being filled by a partnership that directly serves America's greatest rivals. The irony of this alliance begins in 1979. The Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan to expand its southern influence, sparking a conflict that would eventually help bring down the USSR itself. To counter this expansion, the United States directed billions of dollars in weapons to local Afghan fighters, known as the Mujahideen. The goal was simple: turn Afghanistan into a quagmire for the Soviet army. The strategy worked. The Soviets retreated in 1989, but they left behind thousands of heavily armed American-trained fighters who no longer had a common enemy to fight. By 2001, those same factions became the targets of a new American invasion. For 20 years, Washington spent trillions of dollars attempting to suppress the very forces that its own previous policies helped create. The 2021 withdrawal marked the end of that effort. U.S. forces departed on a rapid timeline, abandoning billion-dollar air bases and a sprawling network of regional infrastructure. After 4 decades, the infrastructure the United States built to stabilize Afghanistan has effectively become the foundation for a new Russian sphere of influence. Russia is now moving toward formal diplomatic recognition of the Taliban, driven by 3 specific strategic requirements. First, security. The Taliban serves as a physical barrier against ISIS-Khorasan, protecting Russia's southern buffer zone. Second, economics. Russia secures an export market for oil, gas, and wheat, bypassing sanctions. Third, territorial. This pact creates a legal framework for a permanent presence. This partnership ensures the United States cannot easily return to Bagram Air Base. Moscow is essentially locking the gates to a facility that was once the nerve center for American power in the region. Putin is converting America's abandoned real estate into a long-term Russian asset. He is using the same infrastructure Washington built to secure his own southern flank. This shift in Kabul creates a new list of regional winners and losers, redefining who holds power in Central Asia. The United States faces a clear loss. They have surrendered 20 years of military investment and their most significant staging ground near the Iranian border. Pakistan is also losing ground. While they need the cheap Russian energy currently reaching Afghanistan, diplomatic pressure from Washington makes it difficult for Islamabad to negotiate a similar deal without risking American sanctions. Pakistan's military leverage is also declining. For years, they influenced the Taliban to serve their own regional interests. With Moscow now providing direct defense support, the Taliban no longer has to rely on Pakistan's patronage. For Russia, the benefit is a stable, dependent neighbor that provides both a trade corridor and a security buffer. However, the most significant strategic gain may belong to India. By maintaining back-channel ties with the Taliban while staying aligned with Moscow, India secures a seat at the table. This network links New Delhi to Kabul. It limits Pakistan's proxy operations, as the Moscow-Kabul-New Delhi link checks Pakistan's traditional regional influence. In high-stakes geopolitics, interests dictate the outcome. A project that the United States spent 2 decades and trillions of dollars building has transitioned into a primary strategic advantage for Russia and India.